Today on this episode, I'm going to show you how I built this 10x10 simulator using E6 Connect for just around $1,500. That was the old simulator, but the way it came out, it took up so much space and it wasn't lefty friendly because it would backswing and hit the heater. So we're moving that to actually right here. So we're going to build this right now in this video. It's going to go up 10 foot and across 12 foot, but there's going to be a wall 2 foot off of this wall, if that makes sense. That's one sidewall done. I'm gonna go ahead and just stand it up against the wall, and I won't film it, but I got one more to do yet. Got to cut all the pieces, and then we'll jump back in. All right, guys, both walls are done. So what I did here, because I want to keep a gap, so I'm gonna keep a 2 foot gap. So I just put that board there, just to hold that up right there. Measured out 2 foot, so this will get anchored in, and then essentially, now you're gonna be standing 5 foot over, so you're 7 foot away from the wall, with plenty of swinging room. And this little X right here is where we're going to be swinging from. So lefty, you're clear. Righty, you'll be clear. And then even as a lefty, I sat here and swung, and we should be fine without that heater there. You can always move the launch monitor and step aside. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this board. I just found 2 scrap pieces. I'm going to screw it probably up there, and then get this other one over here and in place as well. Okay, as you can see, this would be a way easier project with maybe 2 people, but got the sidewalls up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this 12 footer up top, just so everything's kind of held into place right now. I do got to leave shortly, so I'm gonna try to get what I can done, make it stable, and then yeah, we'll catch back in. So what I did is I just laid the screen out. This is a 10 foot by 10 foot screen. I wanted it halfway overlapping the 2x4. That way, when I pull it tight, it should come out to the edge. So when it's on the inside, and this wall padding's on the inside as well, it'll be a nice clean. Let's see, how do I do this? The screen will come and overlap this 2x4 halfway. So it'll be flush right up tight to this, and there won't be no gaps. And then with the foam right here, you don't have to worry about hitting the golf ball off this 2x4. But yeah, I got it very, very ghetto-ly held up. This will get Tapconned into the floor on both sides. And then when it comes to carpet, we'll get to that point. I'm not going to jump ahead. But yeah, I got to get this header across and get that in place right now so it's more stable. But yeah. All right, guys. So my next step here is I'm going to make sure this is square, which I just did, to that wall that's 2 foot out. And I'm going to go ahead and anchor that down to the floor with some Tapcons. And then I'll measure from there to here and make sure this is square and do the bottom of this. And then I'm going to go ahead and do some more supports like this along this wall, probably up along this one. I'll run it this way and do a couple of them there. So that way we could still walk in here if we need to. And use this as like your golf club storage and such. Or I'm thinking about even walling this in kind of at an angle here and coming out just before this plug. And then that's where I can put the iPad at, so everyone can make sure, watch what their hit is and see their yardage, whatever. But yeah, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to Tapcon these down. We'll check back in when that's done. And then we got to start with the top portion. Also went and got a bunch of paneling for the sidewalls. My helper, who's gonna scratch my leg. Yeah. But ow, yeah, you got me good there. Fuck. But got the paneling. That's just 1/4 inch press wood, whatever you want to call it. But I got an idea for that. I think it's gonna look super cool. Well, this sidewall is now mounted and she is solid. So that is not going to go anywhere. I'm going to remove this and pull these down. The old TV was right there. But now I got to go finish disassembling that, or at least get 2 more boards down so I can at least start this top part. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. And yeah, we'll get after it. All right, guys. So I got these 2 cross ones there just to hold everything in place now. And then I went ahead and ran one up there, and I'll probably do another one right here just to help it, because I'm not no framer, and probably have been smart to go up and down, but then it defeats the purpose of how I want to do my paneling. But right now it's mostly up. I'll come back here, take a peek at it. So now I just got to run all those runners across there, and then we can go on to figuring out how I want to do the paneling. I'll probably hang the screen up just so I get a little ambitious. All right, well, I went ahead and skipped past it, but the framing is done. I added another support right there and one more up top there to kind of stabilize it to the roof. Now we're gonna go ahead and put you in time lapse while I do the screen. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, that took a lot longer than I thought it would, but that is okay. I do got to figure out something a little different for the upper corners. It's still got that little wave to it, but the rest of it is nice and flat. I mean, you can see how dirty it got. I'll steam clean it, but yeah, you can see the ripples in the corners there. That just got to get pulled over. So I'm probably going to go do the same thing I just did to these middle ones and get it farther over, and possibly the same with that one. So it's pulled actual sideways and everything should be nice and flat. This is way better looking than the rest of them, or my last one, I mean, because the last one I just put carpet over this, and so this was hittable. And now this time around we're gonna actually have some padding here, and it'll come out and it'll be nice and clean, flush all the way around. But yeah, guys, this is looking slick. Also, it pulls up on the bottom, but I think that's okay because I'm going to put a 2x4 all the way along there and a little bit of a ramp with like a 2-foot chunk of plywood going all the way across, so that way when the balls fall, they can roll back to you. That way you're not walking back and forth so much. Man, I'm stoked. So I thought I was at a standstill. I got the screen tight. And this is what I came up with, actually. I think this is going to work well. I might have to buy more turf, but I'm okay with that if I have to. But here, I'll flip it around and I'll kind of just show you through. So I got these 1-bys that I'm going to lay flat like this, and we will Tapcon those into the floor, and they come out perfectly to the back of where we're going to be hitting. So what I want to do is I need more, obviously, but I'm going to come across all the way here in the back, and then I'm going to go around this so this doesn't move. And then I got padding, and I'll get the padding all cut out nice and fit, and then the turf will pull tight, and I'm just going to staple the crap out of it all the way along these edges, up, across, and down, so the turf stays tight. Still got to build that ramp, but we'll get to that. But I think this will be nice, so we're just going to keep on trucking on here and see what we can do. The 1x is down, and this padding is down as well. So now I'm going to roll out the green. I'm going to keep up there, probably like 3 foot back, maybe 2.5 foot back, and not do anything about that part up there so I can lift that up so the balls will roll back. But let's get the green on here and see what we got to trim for that. Well, after going to get another nail gun, well, staple gun, I should say, starting to lay down this turf. I had to do some splicing because it was cut different before. So unfortunately, that's going to look like crap. But what I think I'm just going to do for this side is just going to find an area rug to lay down right there, and I'll staple that down so it's not as, I don't know, more comfortable and more level to the ground that you're hitting off of. So I'll find another piece for that. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and start building. Just going to take some 2x4 and a piece of plywood and build a little ramp down. That way it covers that bottom gap. And as the balls come down, they can come back to you. And then I'll start pulling the turf tight that way and finish stapling it up. Well, guys, I went ahead, blew off the turf. I got the ramp up there. Hoping it works. Let me find a golf ball real quick now that I got a disaster going on here. Oh, I know where this is at. Actually, better yet, I'll set you up on the tripod and we'll take a swing and see what it does. Let's see, they got a pitching wedge. We'll try the pitching wedge. Well, that's exactly what I didn't want to do. Let's try it softer. Let's see if the ramp will work. Whatever, good enough. At least we're not worried about it falling down back or going underneath. I'm happy with it. Oh, I gotta rip all these in half. Actually, I gotta cut 2 foot off of the end of all of them, and then I'll rip them all in half. And then we could start getting our panels laid out how we want to do it. Guys, so I went ahead, I got some fabric. It's like a spandexy, I would say, probably. Nice and stretchy. I did wrap one panel just because I wanted to see. I was going to do a two-tone, but I think for the projector reasons, I'm going to do it all black. So I'll flip this around and I'll show you what the one panel looks like. It's a little dirty, but I think it'll look good. The next time I do it, what I'm going to do is I'll actually staple the padding to the wood itself because it's trying to like... This one might eventually roll down, I guess, you know, because all I'm doing is using double layer of just regular carpet padding. That way it's lighter for when I have to do the top because I'll most likely be by myself. But anyways, I think that's going to look great. It won't be the dirtiest thing in the world, and it should help illuminate the light onto the screen a lot better. I went ahead and ordered a ceiling mount and a projector. I just went off Amazon. I'm going to try it. If I like it, then I'll throw it in the description here. I had $150 off on it because I used my business Prime so much. So I'll take it when I can. But yeah, so now I'm just going to wait till tomorrow. I got to get some new brad nails and some more carpet padding. And hopefully I can get a good distance done tomorrow. I'm getting kind of anxious, but I got to stop with that because I'll just start rushing and then I'll forget stuff or mess stuff up. So we're not going to do that. So yeah, carpet padding tomorrow. I think I'm going to need I'm going to get 2 more sheets of plywood just to be safe because I want to wall this section off and then I'm going to flush mount my iPad that runs everything. So I'll do that. And then if I have enough, I would like to take and close this gap right here So I'll come from this corner and go over and block that out so the cat doesn't walk back there, for not to lose my birdie boy, you know. But anyways, guys, that's where I'm going to stop for the day. I'm out of material for what I can do. So we're going to go ahead and go play some bingo and have a couple adult snacks. And after my first appointment in the morning, we'll be back at it. All right, guys, we're back at the Simi. I kind of got carried away, forgot to film a little bit, but I'll show you what I got. I went and got padding. We got fabric. I got plexiglass, which you'll see why in a second. And yeah, I've just been going to town. So I'm gonna turn it around, show you where I'm at. So right now, this is where I am at. I'm using just carpet padding, and I think it'll work fine. The plexiglass, so I need to stabilize this a little better, but what I'm gonna do is I got vinyl, and I'm gonna cut out, it's gonna say Dick's Country Club to match Dick's Bar. For no one that knows, my buddy Nick, we always called him Dick, passed away not too long ago. So, and he built that bar. So I'm gonna render it over, and this is gonna be Dick's Country Club. And I'm gonna cut it out of vinyl, stick it over it, and then we're gonna put a light behind it, and that's gonna be the light for in here. And I think it's gonna look pretty badass. I do need to figure out a better way to stabilize that. So I'll get brainstorming on that, but yeah, anyways, this is where we're at. I got an appointment coming. I got to fix a window that I messed up on. You know, stuff happens, but then we're going to continue going along. So all I'm doing, guys, is I'm just doing 2 layers of that. It'll be plenty thick enough. It gives me 1.25 inches of padding. Now, like I said, I got to frame this in. I got the vinyl wrap already, so now I'm just continuously stapling and cutting fabric. I'll check back in here when, let's say when we get this one wall done here, we'll be ready to rock. Yes, I got the glove on, got the sheet covering it, and the Simi is done. Sort of, mostly done. I want to get more fabric, cover this outside. I think I'm just gonna like paint this and then do a cutout on vinyl, because this projector is not the brightest thing, but it works okay. I didn't pay attention, and it only goes the 4:3 aspect and 16:9, so I can't square it to the 10-foot screen. But you know what? This is better than the last one was, and it actually sounds pretty good. But yeah, it's still a little light in here, so like I have to cover that one up, and I think we'll be all ready to rock. So I didn't exactly paint these. I had some extra vinyl wrap laying around, so I just went ahead and vinyled them. What I'm gonna do now is I got some white vinyl somewhere, white vinyl and transfer paper, and hopefully it's enough that I can cut out what I want to cut out, at least on one side. If I have to, I will go and buy more white vinyl to finish it off, but let's get this done real quick, what we can, and then we'll take a round on the Simi. So this is what we're doing. We got the plotter cutting it out right now. It's very hard to see, but you can see some letters in there. I messed up. Now I'm only gonna be able to do one side probably, because there's gonna be all this extra vinyl from here. For some reason it didn't, I don't know, but whatever. Get it all out when it's done. We'll get some transfer paper on it and see what we get out of it. You say we play a quick hole. So I'll just hit a quick little par 3 and see what we got. What we got here? 86 yards. Dude, nice 52 degree. Now I'm not very good at golf, so don't be judging. Or am I just gonna hole it? Nope. Quick little par. I guess we'll play one more since, you know. So what I'm using is the Garmin R10. I think I mentioned that before. You can't do putting, which kind of sucks. As you can see on the hole there, it's got the 2 rings. So if you make it in the outer ring, it's a 2-putt. If you get it in the center, it counts it as a 1-putt. So if I'm up there, let's see, here, I probably won't hit this 95 yards. Oh, that was bad. Well, but that'll give us a chip in so you can kind of see how the Garmin R10 works. With this, what am I using? I'm actually using the Garmin courses as well. That was 60. So this is all done through the Garmin Golf app. But, so now if I get in the outer ring, I would technically bogey this hole because it'd be a 2-putt on my second stroke. So we want to get it center in. Tells you right here, because I'm in the rough, 10% power's taken off of your swing to make up for that rough grass. Oh, that's too hard probably. Stay in. So yeah, now it should be a bogey because I got in the outer ring there. Yep. So anyways, guys. All right, guys. So I wrote down all of the pricing from the receipts that I had. We were going to start with our impact screen off of Amazon. That was $140. And the lumber, mind you, I rounded everything up to the nearest dollar. So lumber is $276 I was into. Fabric was $98. Carpet pad came out to $73. The turf was 46 cents a square foot, bringing us to $56. The projector off of Amazon. Now you can choose whatever projector you want. I'm okay with the one I have for right now. It is kind of dim, but it does work at the end of the day. That was $170 with the ceiling hanging mount. Now going on to what software you want to use for your golfing, I should say. I chose E6 as what I ended up switching to, which you've seen at the beginning of the video. You also see me in the end of the video playing on the Garmin Golf app. So E6 is $325 for a total year. And I added that in there for what we have. And if you choose to go through the Garmin Golf app, it's like $15 a month. But I canceled that out because I chose that we were going to run with the E6 Connect through my iPad. So with that, and then the Garmin, that was $350 that I got off of Marketplace used. We have a grand total of $1,485. So we're $15 shy of $1,500 that I spent and built this in. Now that's if I was to buy everything brand spanking new. Like I'm saying, like all the lumber, which I got for free. I think I'm total into it for about $750. But overall, it works great. It was a little bit challenging to figure out the E6 Connect, but at the end of the day, I have a golf simulator. It's working great. Customers play on it all the time. I get my practice in on it. It's just a blast. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment, and I will do my best to get back to you.